right, today is the day, and we are here doing what would be called in the YouTube as a community post, meaning some of you don't like this, they just want to move on to see that work, but today is just kind of the talking head video because I am here to say thank you because we have received from YouTube this fine little plaque showing that we have reached or exceeded the 100,000 subscriber mark. I'd like to thank you for your patronage coming here and watching those videos. Now, I started the channel to kind of expose young people that thinking about going into the engineering world or maybe afraid to go into this kind of a thing, seeming it might be too daunting. And we have done that, I believe, that there are quite a few young people that respond to me saying they would like to do this kind of thing. But interestingly, the audience is actually a little bit older, those who are a little more established in the world. I think the demographics show that we're actually somewhere between 35 and 50 is the main demographic group in here. And I'd like to thank even those older than that. We have an older lady that's watching the channel over 80 years old. I thought that was interesting that she would come in here, considering that the female viewership on the channel is very low. Only like 6 or 7% of the audience is female. That's understandable because this is really always thought more of in the male world. Not that we don't want anybody and everybody to come in here and see what we're doing, participate in this fun and exciting things. Of that audience, actually only about 45% are based here in the United States, many over in Europe, especially in the English-speaking world. We, of course, have in Great Britain and down in Australia quite a large audience, but also Europe pretty big, and of course some into Asia and that area of the world. I thank all of you for coming and watching my videos. I appreciate you coming and seeing the things that I'm doing and helping us grow this channel. I know there are some of you that come and watch the channel almost every episode. I have 54MG over in Britain and Mr. Hume down in Switzerland that they almost respond and leave a comment almost every video. I know a lot of you don't comment every video, but you do come and watch every video. I appreciate those who are really dedicated to the channel. Now, speaking of the comments, it's an interesting thing on YouTube, the comments. You get comments of almost every variety, and I appreciate those who take the time to come in there and comment. Of course, when a video first comes out, I try to go in there the first few days and really answer almost every comment. Sometimes, of course, comments don't really particularly ask for a return reply. We're just saying, great video, things like that. I don't always respond to almost everything. But especially if you have a particular question or don't understand something that's gone on in the video and you respond or ask a question about that, those are the best comments because they help me to reply and leave something in there that will help answer that comment for everybody who may also have the same questions. Helps build up a little bit of conversation too, so that people wishing to do this kind of thing could have a greater understanding. Now, I went back and looked at some of the statistics that YouTube provides and what's been going on in the channel. So it looks like I actually started putting up videos in August of 2018. And so it was about 2020, I would still only getting like 300 to 400 views in a video. That was a good video back then. But on November of 2020, somehow the algorithm noticed the channel. I think it may have been a video where I started doing kind of an overview of the project. But anyway, after the algorithm took off and started noticing things and pushed us up towards that 100,000 subscribers, now typically a decent video can get about 20,000 views. And if you're wondering what that all means, people are always interested in YouTube and how they make money off of it. If you're interested in going into YouTube and thinking you want to make money out of it, here's the realistic world of YouTube. So over this 5 years, YouTube has paid me about $26,000. And YouTube themselves has actually made about $20,000 themselves as well. So what did I get out of that from them? Nice plaque, the $20,000 plaque, I guess, from YouTube. So over those 5 years, I have spent about $80,000 on the projects around here. That includes some tools and some of the other like smaller projects like the 3D printer and the CNC machine, building those kind of things. And I guess you could also add another $80,000 on top of that because I actually built the shop over here so they could move the car out of the garage and have access over here. Not really that we could claim that because I probably would have built the shop anyway, YouTube or not. Anyway, as you can see by going those statistics, it's not really making a living off of YouTube. It's actually cost me much more to be able to do these projects than I get in return from YouTube. Now with those statistics and those views and seeing that I'm not really making a lot of money off of YouTube, what do I need to do to make these projects accelerated? Now the key of course to that would be possibly that if I could devote and go full-time to YouTube. That of course is the answer. So now knowing some of those statistics, what could we do in YouTube to make it actually provide a little more money income so that I can make these projects accelerate a little along a little faster? And of course the answer to that is of course just spending more time here. And the trick to that would be that if YouTube could actually replace my income. But I have some more statistics here to show you what that would actually take. So YouTube actually pays me about $4.37 for every 1,000 views. Now I get about 60 to 80,000 views in any given month, and that usually totals right around $300 a month. So if I were to press and get YouTube full time, I would need to get 2 to 3 million views every month to replace the income that I have in my life. And that way I could leave that other income behind and move over here to YouTube. But there is a big danger in that sometimes, and YouTube has done this in the past, change the algorithm, change a rule on advertising, something that has totally wiped a channel out. So as you can see, it would be very unwise of me to dump my work on the outside of this YouTube channel to try to pursue YouTube full time. But one thing that is going on in that world is that I'm actually working on hiring more employees over there so that it can free up some of my time. That's the way I'm going to be able to come in here and accomplish things a little bit faster. The other big thing that would actually help accelerate things quite a bit here in YouTube was to have somebody else here in the shop that could help me. Now I've tried to hire a couple of teenagers at times, and that has turned into kind of a fiasco that they just kind of peter out. They just don't come back. And I always thought when I was young, this would have been a killer job. Something I could come in and just be around, this kind of thing. But it seems the world has changed and people's attitudes have changed a lot. I'm sure there's somebody out there that would actually love to come in and do that kind of thing. But that's it. I've been trying to hire these younger teenagers because I can get them at a minimum wage price. And they don't have to come in and do any high-skilled things. Just cleaning up, putting tools away, doing those things that would just free me up to do some focused stuff. Sometimes I even get those teenagers saying that, oh, they don't really want to kind of do that kind of thing. Cleaning up, put tools away, sanding, those menial tasks. The menial tasks that I do, they feel like that's not something they want to do. Anyway, I'm moving up, trying to get to the point where I can actually bring somebody in with maybe a little higher caliber that does have some fabrication skills, but that's still a ways off because, like I said, this business is still taking money away rather than bringing money in. But that does not mean that it is not coming in the very near future. Well, now it comes down to what is actually going on here in the shop and what have we actually been accomplishing. Well, let me tell you that we have shifted our priorities here and there, thinking that one project needed to get moved along and things like that. And I come to find out that actually what it really boils down to is I just moved to where the wind blows. Like lately, it has been in the 100-degree temperature range. Sometimes we have topped 112 degrees here. Not uncommon, but it's been stretched out a little bit longer this summer. And that makes it to where I do not want to go out and work in that temperature on Leviathan. So I have shifted and moved inside on some other projects. And as I look over the projects as well, thinking what can I move along the fastest and what needs to be provided for Arete, and people have been clamoring for this, is probably going to get a lot more attention in the very near future, and you will start to see some things happen on it. That doesn't mean that once the temperatures drop down, I can move out to Leviathan, and I won't be back onto that as well. Anyway, those projects are moving along. There are been a bunch of things going on with each of those projects that are kind of larger groups, I would say. And I've kind of moved away from doing small little tiny things like every time I fabricate a little part, I don't produce a video about that. I'm usually going now with component groups. There will be a video fairly soon of the whole steering system in Leviathan, which requires a lot of shafts, a gearbox that I've manufactured, things like that that all have to come together to produce that. We're working on the front splitter, which is a very complex piece, the whole front end of the car. Again, not just want to do little pieces of that, but once it has gotten to a point where it's beautiful and all assembled, those kind of videos will be coming out. Anyway, there have been other little projects along the way that we will start popping up in here. Another interesting thing is that once you have cleared the 100,000 subscriber mark, we have more legitimate people coming to us to ask us for demonstrating their products. I've been very careful of the things that I actually allow to be placed as product placements on this channel. I do not do things that are kind of outside of our realm. I don't get a lot of requests to do VPNs or video games, things like that. And I have specifically only chosen those things that are right in alignment with this channel, meaning automotive things. In fact, lots. I mean, I would guess that I receive 1 or 2 requests a day for products like car radios and air tire inflation tools and mechanics tools, things like that. Although those would seem like they may be applied to the channel, I'm not a repair person. I am actually a fabricator. And I'm not even trying to say I'm a car person. I am a prototype engineer when we move into other things besides automobiles as well. But when there are products that specifically align to us for fabrication and those kind of things, they will definitely be falling into the channel now. A little more legitimate sponsorships. They say that's a thing that will actually bring your income level in the channel up, so maybe that will start helping and making those ideas of bringing somebody else in here or be able to spend more time possible. Anyway, that is the gist of this little community post here. Again, thank you for coming to the channel and watching things. And I hope you come back, continue to see everything that we're doing here at the Builder Creator channel. Thanks again.